Okay, Taurus, let's go ahead and see what we have for you. I hope that you're all having a good start to the new year. Spirit, what do we have at the foundation of the reading, please? Nine of Swords, Gemini energy at the foundation of the reading. Okay, let's get some surrounding energy. Two of Cups, Cancer energy at the sacral. Okay, Taurus, immediately what I'm getting here has to do with a relationship, a connection, some sort of partnership in your life that I feel is causing you a lot of stress right now. And I feel the reason why this is coming up is because Spirit is really wanting you to focus on everything that is within your control. And it feels to me that based on the weight of this situation, it's completely outside of your control. Now, leading up to your reading, the intuitive messages I was getting was all surrounding preparation. In fact, I kept seeing 222. I've been seeing 222 for the past couple of days, which I thought was very interesting considering you're the second house. You are the second sign of the zodiac. And twos are all about planning, partnerships. It's an energy of time management, right? So these are all things that I feel Spirit is really wanting you to put all of your time and energy into. Really just feed partnerships that are going to nourish you. It seems to me that there's an energy here that is creating some sort of energetic leakage in your life. It's like you're putting energy into a space that I don't feel is providing you with the tools that you need to be able to move forward. And it feels as though it's emotional. It's like I'm picking up this nagging kind of energy now. I feel it. I feel it outside of your auric field. It's almost like you're focused on something. You're focused on your path ahead, but then there's this sort of, I just heard buzzing, right? So it's almost like an annoying insect that's just kind of buzzing around your energy and taking your focus off of all of the things that are actually moving your life forward at this time. Now, what do we have at the solar plexus, please, Spirit? Wow. 7 of Swords at the solar plexus. I mean, could we get a bigger confirmation to everything I've just said than the 7 of Swords, right? This is an energy that's literally sneaking off with your energy. 7 of Swords is one of the worst energies in the tarot at face value, right? It doesn't always have to be the worst energy. It can actually speak about an individual that's moving in silence, right? But in this case here, this is a very underhanded kind of energy. It's an energy that knows what it's doing, and it's continuing to do it anyway because it stands to gain something from your losses. Now, the interesting part about this is you know who or what this is in your life right now. I feel that it's become so clear to you that for you to stay attached to this energy, okay, I just heard for some of you, it's literally a behavioral pattern. It's a mindset, right? So typically speaking, these readings are going to be picking up on people in and around your life that are creating some sort of resistance. Or again, it's going to be a mindset. It's going to be a behavioral pattern. It's going to be some sort of negative self-talk or inner dialogue that you're having with yourself that is not supporting you on your path ahead. Okay, so whatever this is for you, you should know, right? You should be listening to this and thinking, yeah, I need to work on this. I need to work on that. Or I need to remove myself from the space where this energy exists, right? If it's external to you. And notice how I said you remove yourself, right? It's like you need to take action on something here rather than leaving the power in somebody else's hands. This is all about you standing up for what you believe in, pushing forward, taking the power. I just heard back. Okay, so this could be a space where you have been powerless for quite some time, and Spirit is finally pushing you in this new year to turn around your circumstances in regards to whatever this is here. And as I'm looking at the 7 of Swords at that solar plexus position, that's exactly what that pairing right there suggests. Right? Your solar plexus is your self-confidence. It's you being in control over your life. But then we have the Seven of Swords energy here, which is stealing your self-confidence, making you feel like you're not in full control over your life. And, this could be subtle. This could be a bad influence that you have around you, right? Just people. I just heard the sum of the 5 closest people to you, right? So it could just be that you're around low vibrational negative people, okay? And they're dragging you down. I mean, that's the simplest way I can put this. There's no other way to really slice this, okay? So these are all the things that you really need to pay attention to right now. And it's all these areas that Spirit is calling you to clean up that are actually going to give you the movement forward you need. I quite often speak about us finding some sort of momentum in what we're working on by actually taking our focus off of what we're working on and putting the focus in another area of our life. And sometimes we don't realize that this is what we need to do until we've wasted a lot of time, right? It's to say that, why aren't I getting some sort of success, some sort of movement with said manifestation? Okay, maybe I need to look at some of the relationships in and around my life. Maybe I need to look at the influence in my life. Maybe I need to look at behavioral patterns that I have been applying in my own life that aren't really serving my highest good. This is where your focus needs to be right now. It's like you need to have a holistic approach over your life right now, the environment around you. I just heard Feng Shui. And for those of you that don't know, Feng Shui is the Chinese practice of arranging your environment to create harmony and balance, right? It's like you moving your furniture around in a specific way in your home so the energy flows through your home better, right? And this creates a positive energetic influence in your life. Now, this is what I'm getting here, okay? So it's like you're focusing on all the details right now. This is where you're going to see movement. For those of you that are really obsessing over trying to pull a manifestation through right now, it's like you're applying too much pressure to something. You need to step back, okay? You need to release something here. It's like that saying that when you focus so much on something, it actually doesn't come to pass. It's like you have to just let go and allow the universe to flow organically around said manifestation. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups here, this is a very confusing energy. It's a very distracting kind of energy, right? It's like there's all of these things in and around your life that are trying to steal your focus. Hey, don't focus on this, focus on that. Focus on this, right? And whenever I look at this card, I think of the 7 deadly sins in some cases, right? And see how there's Jesus right there underneath that little sheet? It's like somebody said, oh, be quiet, Jesus, and threw this over him so you wouldn't actually see that it's him. Instead, you're focused on all these other things, right? It's like we have riches here and, we have a snake here. And I think this is supposed to represent maybe lust or something, right? It's supposed to be like an attractive individual. But whatever the case, there's just all of these things, right, that need to be cleaned up around your life. Okay, I just heard discipline, okay? Now, discipline is one of the main things that we have full control over that can have a huge impact on us trying to pull through specific manifestations. I like to say that when you're trying to pull something through in your life that's significant, right? Something pretty big. It's like you need to become that warrior for a moment. It's like you need to become Rocky, right? It's like you're training and you become very disciplined in and around this training. This is what I'm getting here for you, Taurus. It's like right now, you need to be very focused. You need to be very disciplined. And this is going to put this energetic signature out into the universe that tells Spirit, I want this and I'm ready to work for it. Okay? That's where we're at with this now. You're right there. You're so close. You're on the precipice of this, but it requires a pinpoint focus from you. And this doesn't have to last forever, right? We all have seasons where we're up, where we're down, where we're more disciplined than other points in our life, and that's okay. But this is one of these seasons that you're stepping into right now where you need to be dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's with a laser point focus on pulling this manifestation through by putting your attention on everything that surrounds your life. What do we have at the heart, please, Spirit? Okay, so we have Judgment, Pluto, Scorpio energy at the heart. And then we have the King of Swords, air energy at the throat. Okay. Now, the Judgment card is an energy of rebirth. It's an energy of awakening. And as you can see here, it's like these people are in these coffins, right? And Judgment is represented by, again, Pluto and Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpio is the death card, death and rebirth. So it's to say you're having a death and a rebirth. It's like this is your higher self. This is spirit calling you up out of the coffins, right? This is you rising up out of the ashes of the past, so to speak. Okay, and the thing is, see how they're not actually laying down in the coffins, they're standing up. In other depictions, right, in some of my other decks, they're actually laying down. But it's like here you've called on something and it showed up for you. You're not actually laying down ready to be rebirthed yet. It's like spirit saying, hey, we're here. Let's get on with the show. Okay? Now that's followed by this King of Swords, air energy. And this is really speaking about your strategy. It's speaking about the action that Spirit is asking you to take right now in order to get all of this underway, so to speak. King of Swords is also a very objective energy. And I feel that this is really speaking about the energy that you need to implement to be able to make these decisions to allow for things to get moving. It's like Spirit is advising you not to be emotionally invested in certain situations that are trying to hold you back. It doesn't matter who or what it is in your life. If it's not nourishing you, if it's not supporting you, it's got to go. And this is also at the throat position, right, which is all about communication. This could be something that you need to communicate. And or it's taking me back to that inner dialogue, right? It's like you cleaning up all of that negative self-talk inside of your mind, right? Yeah, I'm hearing something here. You know, when I get a card like this at that throat chakra, this can speak about, say you're trying to manifest something and you're getting ready to pull something through, and then in the 11th hour you self-sabotage by way of some sort of negative self-talk. I don't know if I can do that after all. I'm getting cold feet, or whatever it may be for you, right? Or maybe I don't deserve that, or maybe I'm going to fail at it, right? All of these sorts of things are what you need to be focused on right now. And you also need to put focus on where that may be coming in other areas of your life. Who's your support system? Do they really support you? Or do they have some sort of ulterior motive to hold you back, quite possibly due to their own lack of growth in their own life? Now, I know that that can sound like a harsh thing to hear, Taurus, but you really don't know how somebody is really supporting you until you begin to have success. You know, Taurus, in a lot of cases, success has a way of narrowing your circle. You know, when you start to level up in your life, it really exposes the people in and around your life that may have always been holding you back, because all of a sudden they get kind of weird. It's almost like they don't support you, or you just pick up on something that you didn't before from them, right? Maybe it's some sort of jealousy or envy. But whatever the case right now, you're going to need to distance yourself from these energies. You can't change them. You can't convince them otherwise. All you need to do is, again, focus on what you have full control over. This is what this is all about. It's all about you only pouring your energy into the things that you can absolutely change yourself. What do we have at the third eye, please? Emperor. There we go. This is what this is all about. Taurus, this is a CEO energy that I have on this table, whatever that means for you, okay? Spirit needs you to be honest with yourself right now and to solidify yourself in this leadership position. And as I'm looking at this card, right, it's like you're sitting in this throne. You're on the other side of the throne, okay? This is the back of the throne here. But there's all these people that are kind of standing here. It's like they're working for you. They kind of look like servants a little bit. But immediately when I looked at them, I thought of them sort of saying under their breath, right? Why him? Why her, right? Again, this jealousy and envy that I'm picking up on here from these energies that Spirit is guiding you to extract from your life right now, because they've been having some sort of an influence. And again, it can be the internal dialogue. I feel the need to remind you as we're navigating this reading that it doesn't have to be people. It could be things that people said to you even decades ago. You know, I always talk about how those words, right, that people say that we hear on our path can have a way of embedding themselves in a deep subconscious layer. And then in those moments where we need all the confidence in the world, they just have a way of unearthing themselves from the deep recesses of our subconscious. And then all of a sudden we hear these words rattling around in our mind. And sure enough, we end up self-sabotaging, right? So this is just a way to think about how things that have been long past can come up for review and impact you in the moment, okay? Taurus, a lot of you have been working towards building some sort of solid long-term foundation for yourself, essentially your empire. But now this reading is showing us very clearly that there's a sequence of events that you must follow to be able to make this a reality. This is a wake-up call. This is you essentially at the crossroads. It's like you've reached this moment in your life where you're evaluating some sort of past actions, which is going to trigger this rebirth energy. And then this King of Swords is you turning this realization that you have with the judgment into action, right? This is you acting on the guidance, acting on your own awakening. And then this is where you end up. You go from the Nine of Swords, right, to the Emperor. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Pentacles, okay, which follows the Emperor beautifully because it suggests that you're going to be in a position to where you can give back if you wanted to, okay? And then the Nine of Swords again, but very different than this Nine of Swords, okay? This isn't you. See how there's this demon right here? I feel that whatever was done against you, okay, whether it was the lack of support or individuals hindering your growth, it's like this all repeats on them now, right? Whenever I look at this card, it's like karma coming back to individuals, haunting these individuals, right? You were once in that energy, but you couldn't see what it was, right? And now the demon here appears because they know exactly what it is, right? They know that they sent this energy out, however that resonates for you. And then Nine of Wands. So this is an energy of creating a perimeter with these energies here, right? Putting up some sort of boundary. And then the Ten of Swords, Gemini energy. So this is a new beginning after a painful ending. This is not easy. Okay, this is something that has not only caused a lot of pain and suffering for a very long time. I feel that it's been mostly spiritual. But whatever the case, it's coming to an end. And it's only coming to an end because you're actually taking these specific actions that have been a long time coming. It's like this has been going on for a while, I feel. Let's switch decks. What do we have at the crown, please, Spirit? Knight of Swords, air energy at the crown. Taurus, this is very clear. You're being guided right now to implement some sort of aggressive action towards this. Basically, steamroll over anybody who's trying to get in your way right now. Now, even though this is showing this aggressive action, it's more just in your energy. It's not you actually going out and fighting people. It's just you having that pinpoint focus, like I mentioned, and not allowing things to get in your way. And if they do, you simply put your foot down or you just completely shut them out and you keep pushing forward. And as I'm looking at this Knight of Swords, it's like this individual's on this horse, but it's like the sword is pointed at their throat. Now, this is air energy sword, so it's all about communication. So it's like this person gets in your way, tries to communicate something to you, right? Maybe something that they've said to you before that typically works. And you're saying, you know what? I don't think so, right? And the sword is going towards the throat. So it's just speaking metaphorically to you shutting this energy down or just not considering it at all. And then lo and behold, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Sun. Now, the Sun is the most positive card in the tarot, okay? It's the energy of success. So this comes after all of this. This is a very clear reading. There's no twists and turns to this. This is a perfectly laid out blueprint on how you're going to achieve this. The only person that can stop this from happening now is you, Taurus. That's it. What do we have at the foundation, please? 10 of Swords, Gemini energy underneath that 9 of Swords at the foundation of the reading. Now, the 10 of Swords energy here, again, is speaking about a new beginning after a painful ending. We saw the 10 of Swords underneath this deck earlier on. And now we're seeing it here right underneath this 9 of Swords, which is telling us that the worst has passed. It's like you have liberated yourself from some sort of energy now, right? This 9 of Swords here. And notice how on this card, right? It's like you have the sword now. It's like you're in control now. And see how this bird here has got his hand and wrist up against his hip right there? It's just a very confident kind of stance, right? It kind of looks like a general or some sort of leader. And it says right here, builds houses and high towers, destroys an enemy's thoughts and desires. So I just feel that this is really speaking about this 9 of Swords energy and the 7 of Swords energy and everything that they may have been using to hinder your growth. It's to say that this doesn't work on you anymore. And the sword is really coming through in all of these energies here, right? It's like first it began with them stealing the swords from you, right? And the swords can represent energy in this case. And now here you are wielding the sword, right? It's like you wield it, you attack, and now you're on the other side of the attack. Everything's just beginning to get better. I just heard because you've stood up for yourself. And standing up for yourself doesn't always have to be you engaging with somebody, you facing off with somebody. A lot of the time, standing up for yourself is just simply shutting out the noise and charging forward on your path, and again, steamrolling any energies that get in your way. Right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit, Knight of Swords, the Fool. Yeah, this Hermit card from this deck, it's like Hermit in reverse. It's like somebody that's going the wrong way in life. It's like they chose some sort of alternate path, and it's the opposite of yours. And I feel that that's just really speaking about the energies you may be dealing with in your life, and or the energy that they were trying to bring into your life to influence you to take the wrong path. And then the Knight of Swords from this deck, it's very different from this one here. This is a very cruel energy. It's also an energy that's, again, very sneaky, but it knows what it's doing, right? It's an energy of deliberate cruelty. What do we have at the sacral, please? Queen of Wands, fire energy at the sacral underneath that 2 of Cups. Yeah, right before this came out, I was focused on this 2 of Cups here. And as soon as this came out, I heard a dirty offer. Now, I feel that this is just speaking about an offer that looks good on the surface, but underneath it all, there's something there that is engaged in this 7 of Swords energy. It has some sort of ulterior motive. It's doing what it's doing because it's seeking to gain something from your losses. That really says it all. Okay, but it's coming through under the guise of, oh, hey, yeah, you want to partner up, you know? Now, the Queen of Wands from this deck is a very mean-spirited energy. It's also somebody who's very demanding of your energy, of your time. But you need to understand that this energy here is somebody who's very apathetic. It's like they don't have anything better to do in their life than to create pain and suffering in your life under the guise of acting like they are supportive. See, everything here is cloaked. It's like they're wearing a mask. It's not like they're just doing these things all out in the open. They're hiding it from you, right? Which makes it feel like, it's a form of deep betrayal, because betrayal is typically going to come from people that we thought we could trust. It's almost like we don't even need to think about whether we can trust them or not, right? It's almost like it's just built into our relationship with them. So when we find out that they betrayed us or done something behind our back, it's incredibly painful because we didn't have any sort of guard up around these people. We were just very free and open around them. So when you go through this level of betrayal like this, it can make you feel like you need to close yourself off to the rest of the world. It can make you really reevaluate life as a whole. And this is why these energies are so incredibly dangerous to an individual's evolution. What do we have? The solar plexus, please, Spirit? Wow. Queen of Swords, air energy at the solar plexus. There's a lot of swords on this table. So we have, let's see here. We have the king, the knight, and the queen. Plus we have the 7, 9, and 10 of swords. Now the queen of swords from this deck is the pathological liar of the tarot. It's somebody who presents themselves as something they are not. And this pairing here with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords from this deck is very heavy, okay? This is an energy where Spirit is really guiding you right now to break away from any sort of energies that are creating a lack of motivation in your life and implementing some sort of harsh boundary here, okay? I mentioned that this isn't about facing off with people. It's about charging forward, going through these energies, just whatever that means to you. But what I'm seeing here now, you may need to put down some pretty serious boundaries here, okay? Now, this is about as serious as a boundary as you can get when it comes to the Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords back to back from this deck, because I automatically read this deck like they're reversals. They represent negative polarities. These energies here are seeking to get you in an energy where you're so bitter, you just end up isolating yourself and not living up to your God-given potential in this life cycle. So with that in mind, you may want to reframe how you perceive these energies. Yes, they could be family, they could be longtime friends, but when they're keeping you from, again, your God-given purpose in this life cycle, in my mind, that's the enemy. Okay. And a lot of times the enemy is going to come cloaked as support, like we already mentioned. And I feel that this is exactly what you're dealing with right now, Taurus. Your breakthrough's on the other side of this. A breakthrough of this level very rarely comes with some sort of smooth path and just everybody supporting and loving you. Okay. That's just not how life works. Unfortunately, that's not the reality we're living in right now. Okay? It's an all-out spiritual war in this world right now. And a lot of the people you're engaged in battle with are in your everyday waking life. And the sooner you begin to wake up to this, the sooner you accept the truth, you see all the little details in and around your life that Spirit is trying to make you aware of, and you actually act on it, the sooner you're going to start seeing breakthroughs begin to unfold in your life. And when that happens, there's no turning back, because now you have the proof. Wow, Spirit was right. It's true. All of those things I didn't want to accept before were the exact things that, when released, allowed my breakthrough to come in. And it's these sorts of things, Taurus, that forever change the way that you even interface with your life. And I just heard very clearly, face the pain, find your purpose. What do we have at the heart position, please? So we have the Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Unbelievable. This literally followed everything that I just said, Taurus. It's like this Queen of Wands energy is trying to get you to lose your spark. Doesn't want you to have the confidence that you need to make this happen. And then this Queen of Swords energy is you navigating some sort of bitterness or some sort of isolation and reestablishing yourself in some sort of stability here. Queen of Pentacles. This is you shifting out of this space where you're always dealing with some sort of harsh criticism, whether it's actually vocalized or it's mental or it's just energetic, right? Sometimes we can just pick up on the way people feel about us. But this is you now breaking out of this karmic cycle that you were in with these people and securing your presence in your own life. And this is one of these breakthroughs right underneath this judgment, right? Which is the awakening, which is the rebirth, that is going to touch all sectors of your life, your relationships, your money, your home, your career. This is you looking back on this situation in complete disbelief at how much of a negative influence it had on all these different areas of your life. It's like it just spread like a disease into every corner of your life without you even being fully aware of it, because it changes you vibrationally. And when something changes you vibrationally, it impacts the way you interface with your reality. It's like it creates this filter that you look through at all times. And you don't know how great your life can be until you remove that filter from the lens that you look through at your own life. So we go from all of that to the literal empress. So we now have the emperor and the empress on the table. It doesn't get any better than that, Taurus, because we're seeing the masculine and the feminine side of this energy, which is complete balance, complete harmony. So not only have you laid down this foundation, but you're actively multiplying what you've built now. You know, the Empress is the most abundant card in the tarot. It's an energy that can plant a seed and then watch that flourish into more. It's just an energy that's constantly multiplying. This is a perfect balance of yin and yang. The Emperor is the framework, is the protection, and the Empress is the growth and vitality that fills that framework. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Two of Wands, Aries energy at the throat. Now, whenever I get this Two of Wands, at first sight, I always see an individual who's looking like they're checking their pulse, right? They look like they've been through a bit. They kind of got bags under their eyes. Almost looks like they've been crying, right? And it's like they're looking back at something. Let's say it's them looking back at the past, right? You know, I've mentioned how you'll get to a point in your life when you look back, right? I always like to say that because it's like that's the point of realization about how much of a negative influence these things had in your life. And I feel that this is representing that. It's like you're looking back, you're like, oh my God, am I even alive? Was that real? How could you be so wicked, right? And see how he's looking directly at that Seven of Swords right there. It's like you're looking at this energy now from a completely different timeline through the fabric of time. And it's giving you reaching this point in the future and then being a fly on the wall in some sort of past vision, now seeing, oh yeah, I bet they did this then, right? It's almost like Spirit is giving you a vision of what took place. That's what I'm getting here. And it says right here, love and wisdom, victory over those who would attack you, right? So it's you seeing now that you were under attack this entire time without even realizing it, like we've pretty much mentioned throughout the course of this entire reading. And the Two of Wands is an energy of you progressing forward now. You're finally in this position where you're able to put together some sort of plan for your future because you don't have this negative influence around you. And I mentioned that leading up to the reading, I kept seeing 222, right? And I was seeing some of the twos in tarot. And the Two of Wands is one of the cards I was seeing. So that, again, is all about planning for your future and understanding that the things in and around your life right now that you may be entertaining or engaging with are very much influencing whether or not these manifestations are actually going to come to pass. So we've just gone full circle to what I was picking up intuitively. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Wow, look at that. Emperor stacked with Emperor. Now I have, let's see, how many decks do I have on the table here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decks on the table. And we get that doubled up Emperor energy right there again at the third eye. The confirmation that we're getting here surrounding this message couldn't be any stronger. You're really being called to step in your power here, to be assertive and take some sort of command, some sort of control over some situations in your life. You have what it takes to make this happen. But I feel that based on the fact that we're getting such a strong confirmation here, you're probably dealing with a lot. which is telling me that this is probably something that is probably going to present itself with some sort of challenges in your life. But if anything, hopefully the message here that we're getting in the capacity and the strength that we're getting it can give you the much needed confidence to actually stand up and make this happen. And right there it says gives safe travel and protects against conspiracies. Now, I feel that give safe travel is self-explanatory. It's basically spirit saying, hey, you're good to go. Okay, we got your back. Just get the wheels turning here. And then protects against conspiracies. This could be a lot of what these people are telling you, right? Oh, you can't do that because this is going to happen. Oh, did you hear about that person who tried to do this? Yeah, this happened to them. All of these sorts of things, okay? So this is what you have to, again, right? Steamroll over, right? And look at the look on the Emperor's face. It's almost like, yeah, whatever. I've heard it all before a million times. And I just heard gray rock. And this is really interesting because, look, it's like here we're seeing you in your throne here, but obviously we see the back of the throne and it's like cement, right? It's like gray rock. And then the look on your face here is the expression of gray rocking. It's like a very unresponsive, just kind of bored by what people are saying, right? And it's because, again, you've heard it all before, but you're looking at it through a different lens now. You're like, oh, okay, I get it now, right? These are, I just heard they're NPCs, right? It's like they're a broken record. It's like they're just on a loop. It's like they're constantly playing out the same story over and over. And, you know, gray rocking can also be an energy where you're not giving any details about your life, right? It's like an energy where it's a lot of yes, a lot of no, a lot of maybe, right? That's it. You don't give any other information up. But it's also speaking about, again, this message about not facing off, right? It's a very flat sort of energy. No anger, no sadness, no excitement. That's how you need to deal with these energies until you're able to distance yourself from them. All right, what do we have at the crown for Taurus, please, to close out the reading? The Hierophant. God, the divine source. Taurus, that is your energy right there underneath that Knight of Swords at the crown. Now, Taurus, you are mastering some sort of self-discipline in your life, right? Which is what we were picking up on earlier in the reading, right? Self-discipline, some sort of self-sacrifice is what's going to lead to this breakthrough in the many different forms that can show up in your life. So place it as it fits. But this is also preparing you for some sort of deeper spiritual awakening and or access to some sort of wisdom that you are going to uncover through this process. It's to say that by going through all of this, the trials and tribulations of this situation, it literally changes the way that you actually perceive life and the way you interface with it. There's a monumental success on this table here for you, Taurus. And I feel that when you finally break away from said energies and go and get this, on one hand, you're going to be enjoying what is rightfully yours by divine rights, but on the other hand, being left with the hard truth that these energies here simply did not want you to have this. So, Taurus, this to me feels like something out of a movie. I feel like I've just read the first book in a series. There's so much more that is going to be unfolding for you in your life, Taurus. But to get things started, I would say that this is a pretty incredible first step. So let's go ahead and leave this here. And I look forward to your next reading to see what comes through next. All right, Taurus, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So drop me a heart and or a comment down below, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.